Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
Welcome to the podcast. Oh, no, girl, yes. We are so excited to see y'all again, and we're excited for you to see us. Hopefully, you're watching us on YouTube. You subscribe. You can listen to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, obviously, but make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you like, and we love the comments. So make sure you leave us comments. Hopefully, everybody had a great, we just celebrated Father's Day.
We did.
And it kind of inspired kind of the topic for today. Some things I saw online about some people talking to their exes. And so we want to talk about respecting an ex, respect the ex. So when you're dating someone and they're new to you, do you have different levels of how much you respect somebody who dealt with them before you? Do you have different, like, is it wives, ex-wives, long-term girlfriends, partners, business partners, high school sweetheart? No. Please explain. Tell me more.
The reason I don't have different levels is because I typically don't want anything to do with them at all.
Now, when you say you don't want anything to do with them, does that include your man don't have
No. Like, especially if there are kids involved and stuff like that. I get that. I normally remove myself from the situation.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if it was a longtime girlfriend or an ex-wife or anything like that. I don't have to be friends, nor I don't have to be enemies, but I definitely don't have to be a friend either. I can just be who I am, and you can just be who you are. So there isn't a level to how much I respect them all, I think. So, but I respect them enough to just stay away.
Respect them enough to pretend like they do not exist in real life. So when I think about, I've never really had to deal with any exes. So I've never been in a relationship. Well, let me think. Let me take that back. No, I've never had direct dealing with anyone's exes. I have had to deal with the person I was dating about their ex.
Okay.
But I've never been someone to actually have a conversation with an ex unless I went back to I would have to go back to college probably to say, okay, I actually had a conversation with my boyfriend's previous girlfriend. And you know what? Now that I think about that, I'm probably about to get mad again. And this is 25 years ago. And now that I think about it, I was dating a guy in college. I knew about an ex-girlfriend in Texas. We're both in Alabama. And she called me because my number was on her phone bill. So start there. Start there. Because he had went to Texas for something else related. I don't know that he saw her, but he called me this is pre-cell phones. This is in the 1900s. He called me from her phone. She called the number when she saw it on her bill, and she told me she was his girlfriend and that she was pregnant by him.
So she wasn't an ex then?
Well, I was his girlfriend. So I knew of her name. I knew she was the ex. So when she called to tell me she was his girlfriend, so that's funny that you say that. So I was the side chick.
No, I mean, I think it sounds like he was playing y'all both.
Right. So in my mind,
she wasn't necessarily an ex in her mind.
Right. I think in my mind, what I think happened, thinking back to my mind then, right, versus now. Okay, but then I thought they broke up. He moved away. I was his girlfriend. He went back for something and they hooked up. But I didn't take it as she was his girlfriend. I took it as you are his ex that he may have done, but I don't know nothing about this. I just know this woman called me and said she was his girlfriend and she was pregnant. So I called him and said, hey, her name was Chandra. Why did Chandra call me? What? She called you? Yeah, she called me. And why did she tell me she was pregnant by you? And his response was, I don't know. I said, you don't know what? I said, is she pregnant by you? And he said, I don't know. Now, when I think back to this, he actually then, let's just end the story there.
Okay.
But that's the only ex-girlfriend I think I've ever had a conversation with. And again, now that we are in real time, that might not have been his ex-girlfriend. I might have been.
That was just another woman you had a conversation with.
But yeah, I didn't go back and forth with her. She kind of just called to tell me who, it wasn't like, who, and he said. I was just like, what, huh? I just kind of was listening and was just like, well, why are you calling me? Okay. It was kind of like that. I think if a woman called me today, if I was dating somebody, if another woman called me to tell me, I don't know, because What about the sociopath? His wife emailed me to let me know he was married, is married. So she wasn't an ex. I don't know.
I dealt with, I thought about it. It was in college. So, you know, when you're young and we're all young and
everybody, and then also your spaces are smaller in college too. Your circles are smaller.
So this guy, I think it was a similar thing. So it was a similar thing. She wasn't his ex, clearly. Because but he started dating me and we were together, and then I was like, suddenly she just started popping up again, and I'm like, well, what's going on with that? But I think he was just playing us both, you know, now that I look back on it. I never had an interaction with her, but it was funny because her friend, never mind, I'm not going into that.
It's funny how we had a memories and be like, you know what, let me just stop.
No, because it's so stupid and it doesn't even make any sense right now.
But listen, I just thought of another one in college, a different one, and an ex-girlfriend who might have just been the girlfriend back home, because when she showed up, his ex-girlfriend showed up. When now looking back, it might have just been his girlfriend came.
Yeah, these men got us thinking folks got exes out here, and they really don't. They really don't. They don't not your ex. That's your girlfriend on the East Coast. I'm your girlfriend on the West Coast. That's what it is.
And the two then overlap, and so you try to tell one of us that one of us ain't in real time. Okay, so let's leave the 25 years ago. Let's leave college alone, because looking back, we're gonna realize a lot that we didn't realize then. In our limited experience at that time, we can say now, oh, look, girl, you was getting played. Okay, so let's leave those alone. So I have an example of, now we're at a place where people have been married and have ex-wives and children. And so now when we're looking to date somebody, there is somebody who probably has been established in this man's life. They gonna probably be a part of each other's lives forever as they have these children. And now you're the new person. Do you feel, in the context of you're getting to know this new person, you're dating this person, they have an ex-wife, let's say the ex-wife kind of has thrown some salt or shade in your direction. Where are you in the space of, do you interact? Do you engage? Do you care about her throwing shade? Do you care about her making things difficult because she's upset that you're there? Or do you just...
No, I mean, I think I would let him handle it and hope that he would. The only thing that would make me upset is if, like, she's being extremely disrespectful to me, to my face. And then that would be a problem. Like, I would want him to handle it, but then I might say something. But if I hear her chattering behind my back, don't matter. Especially if he's with me now, like, it really don't matter. You heard.
Question about that. Would it be a problem if you had to ask him to handle it versus him just handling it?
Yes. But it would be a problem. It wouldn't be a problem with her.
Right, but I said a problem with him, then I would have to ask you to handle this. So as soon as you said I would ask him to handle it or want him to handle it, I thought, okay, but then that's going to be a problem if you have to ask him to handle it.
Yeah. For sure. And
so now we kind of back to square one. Because now this ex that you don't engage with or deal with is still causing a real-time problem in your new relationship because he's not handling it.
Exactly.
So by the time you say, he's gonna say, because you know I have read all the scripts, he's gonna say, man, why are you even giving that any energy? I'm with you. She crazy. Let her do what she doing. Ain't nobody even checking for her. She gonna do that. She crazy. And then you say,
let her pop off the mouth at me one more time. And I'm gonna show you.
Are you gonna take it up with her or him? That one more time.
I'm gonna take it up with her at that point. If he don't want to, I mean, and I'm saying some blatant disrespect to my face. Right. I don't care what you say behind my back. I don't, that doesn't bother me. You can talk all you want to. As long as we're respectful of each other, if we're in each other's presence.
That's fine. All it comes down to.
That's all it comes down to. But if you're going to disrespect me to my face and he's not going to stop you.
So in the context of she's an ex, I'm not going to let her bother me. He ain't checking her. So now me and him probably got a problem. So I'm probably going to break up with him anyway, because I feel like he should have handled this. Then she wins, right? Because the only reason she was trying to cause some smoke anyway, it might not be that she want him back, but it still be something about when somebody moving on, especially I think when kids are involved. You don't be wanting everybody around your kids and all that kind of stuff. So it's like some part of it is like becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy of I'm not going to engage. How much responsibility do you feel the man bears? Huh?
I started to say something really ugly.
Go ahead, say
it.
Go ahead. This is why we listen to the podcast.
When you said she don't be wanting anybody around her kids. I don't want to be around your kids.
I probably do. I would not have picked your kids. I picked him and they came with him. But anyway, Lord know our heart. Lord know our heart. But it's one of those things where, you know, maybe that's a conversation you have on the front end before any of those things happen. Okay, you have an ex-wife. Okay, you have kids. Okay, as you start progressing in a relationship.
And I have done that before. Like, do y'all have a decent working relationship? Like mine are mainly not ex-wives, just baby mamas. Mm-hmm. But do you have a work, you know, how's your relationship and all that kind of stuff? You kind of try to get the tone of the room a little bit before you jump in head first, you know? Right. So, but a lot of times, if it's not good, they don't hide it. Really, they're like, "She crazy." I
know, but you know what? I very rarely can take the word of a man when he say his ex.
No, you don't believe that because I'm
always on the side of the ex. I'm generally on the side of the ex, and it's
what makes her crazy? Wait a minute.
So now, why was she crazy? What she do that made her crazy? Because I'm usually like, okay, you didn't hear your part of the story. You just telling me what she did, but then once you go back and tell me your parts, I've told several men, "Hey, you know, you're not the hero in that story you just told, right?" Like. You realize you are trash.
That's the title. That's where this title comes from. Respect the ex, because I don't know how many women out there are actually listening to their husbands or their boyfriends or whatever people they meet and taking their word for what happened and why this person, their ex wasn't a good enough person. Because it's always, and then you go ask the ex and they may have a different story too. You had that experience one time before 100%. Recently. Yeah. Where the guy was saying one thing and the girl had another story, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. But men, I think they talk about it and they don't realize that they make themselves the villain when they tell the story, when they retell the story.
Because they're telling it, they think they're the hero. And by the time we hear it as a woman who's rational, who likes him, we like you. We're here because we like you. By the time you tell us that she was crazy and she was this and this, and then you tell us what you did, you're like, oh yeah, no, sir, you were the horrible one in that story. So she did what one would do in that situation. I just have never taken anything a man has told me about his ex as the truth. Because I know some man is somewhere telling somebody about me. And if he told him about me, I know it ain't true. Because I ain't fought for your love. I ain't tracked you down. I ain't asked you to talk to me again. You know, I ain't do... Right. I ain't do nothing that you gonna have. It's gonna be interesting enough for you to tell the next one. If somebody say what happened to your last relationship, they're gonna say, oh, we just stopped talking to each other. That's all they gonna say. They ain't gonna say, oh, well, she said this or she wanted that, or I did, unless you gonna make it up. So when a man tell me about his ex, I'm like, well, either she did that or she didn't, or you're not telling me what you did is why she did that, or you just have a selective memory. You just make it up. Every man got a crazy ex. Now, what if you do experience some of the crazy ex? You experience some of the things in real time that she's doing that you're like, well, why would that woman do that? At that point, you have verification. Okay, she might be on another end. But like I said, I think if I'm going to date somebody and I see us going that way, I'm going to say, listen, I need you to have a great, loving, respectful relationship with your ex because y'all have these kids. But me and her never really need to have interaction at this point. You know, as time goes on and we actually become a family, yeah, cool, great. But right now, I would need to have no interactions with her. Don't be coming back telling me nothing she said about me. Don't come back and all that. So if you don't handle or mitigate that, me and you would have a problem. I ain't gonna have no problem with her. And I think sometimes men don't realize their responsibility in that. And I think they sometimes get off on, oh, these women fighting over me, or I got these two women emotionally, you know, uproared over me. And I'm saying that's not what you want, because it's still gonna just be one. Over there. I'm thinking of some more recent exes from college. Man, I had the another ex that was, oh, you know what? But again, I never had interactions with these exes, but I had dated two men as an adult who exes came up pregnant by them. I never had interactions with the exes. But you know, again, the man, and then she just now and then she said, and I just have always exited stage left. So in both of those situations, those children were born and they teenagers and 20 and, you know, they grown young men now. And one of them at Harvard. It wasn't none of my business once that conversation happened. You know, I never felt like this is my man and I don't know what this ex is. Hey, sounds like I'm not needed around these parts.
Y'all got to handle. Y'all got.
Yeah, I think y'all got something to talk about. I'm not gonna be involved, and I can look back and say that happened twice. 5 years ago was when the sociopath's wife emailed me, and I emailed her back knowing that it probably was going to him and she would probably never see it. So I was respectful, but also talking trash about him since I figured he was going to intercept it. But no, I've never had any kind of argument, fight, beef, back and forth with nobody's ex. But also, I tend to have a lot of respect for an ex, especially a long-term ex or an ex-wife or an ex you have kids with, because I know I'm probably never really getting the full communication of the story.
Right.
And I know that I have a greater chance of being an ex-wife or baby mama more so than being anything else in this world. So I kind of default to their side. Even though I might like you, the man, I want to be with you, the man. I trust you, I respect you. I'm probably going to default to the woman's side.
I usually default to the woman's side too, simply because I am a woman. And we see things differently in relationships. We just do. Men will tell a situation or, explain a situation, and I get something totally different out of the situation than what the message she's trying to, portray.
Right.
So just being a woman, we think differently. And because we've been through these things a lot more, we've dated a lot, we're grown. We've been on, been in relationships and stuff like that didn't work out. None of them have worked out up to this point. So we've kind of seen it too. We've seen that story before.
Yeah. So when they start telling you the story
is not
you've already been the character. You've already been the other woman in character. So when he's explaining it, you're like,
I will always side with her.
Always.
Sorry.
And I always caution women who tell me they're dating somebody and they try to tell me something about somebody's ex. I'm like, hey, you don't know that man's ex. And you don't, I don't know. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit when a woman says, and his ex is crazy. I'm like, she very well might be, but she probably ain't. And if she is, he drove her there and dropped her off at the curb of crazy.
He did.
Let's be clear. Because it'll be a man treating you like trash, but still would have told you about his ex being trash. And it's like, now what are the odds that he is showing up as trash today, but he was the most perfect one for her, and she was the trash?
Connect the dots, people.
Probably not.
Connect the dots.
That probably didn't happen. I had an ex, the same ex from college that had the Texas girl, married somebody he cheated on me with after, we graduated college. They're divorced now. I met him out for a drink one day, and he was trying to tell me they got divorced because she cheated on him. And I said, know your audience. I really would not care about that woman you cheated on me with that you married cheating on you. So that wouldn't be the story you would tell me. But you know what I actually hear? Most women don't cheat on good husbands. You know what I'm saying? You know what women generally don't do when they're in a happy, loving, healthy relationship? Cheat. Now a man will.
Doesn't matter how good the relationship
somebody else want him, so he excited. He getting some more validation. He got to see about that. Somebody else say I'm cute.
Rios.
But a woman who is in a happy, healthy relationship, she probably is not gonna cheat on him. So if she's cheating on you, she probably needed to. And again, biased because I'm the woman in the story. There are some trash women out here. There's some trash women that will cheat on you just because they need that validation to say, so I'm not saying that it does not happen both ways. I'm saying the likelihood is low. If a woman cheat on you, it's because you are not meeting several and many of her needs. And for whatever reason, she just won't break up with you and leave. So she's getting these needs met elsewhere. A man can have all of his needs met and he still like to get all this other validation because monogamous just ain't natural. That's when if you ever want to hear a man become a wildlife researcher, talk to him about monogamy. He gonna tell you about every animal in the jungle.
They put God in it too. God wouldn't have made me with all this if he didn't want me to.
They become very philosophical when you talk about monogamy. But that's a whole nother conversation, another podcast. So I had a situation recently where a girlfriend of mine is dating somebody and he is recently divorced with children. So his ex is a very new ex. She's a new ex. So when she was trying to tell me something about the ex behavior, the crazy, I said, this is my friend. I'm happy she's found love. But I'm like, but girl, she's a brand new ex. You got to give some grace for that. And it's children involved. you can't really be blowing up and being real aggressive with this ex. I really don't care what she's doing right now because she's brand new at it. And I can only imagine whether I want this man anymore or not. We got kids. I'm probably not going to be the most loving, peaceful, cooperative individual.
Right.
That's just life. That's just being realistic. So as the new woman, and again, I'm speaking from the outside. I don't know if I was there. I probably, what I would do. But as the new woman, I'd be like, well, look, this man, their relationship didn't work out before I even came into the picture. He's with me now on purpose. I understand she has kids. That has to be hard. She's dropping these kids off. And now there's I get all that. Let me just go in the house and mind my business, and he's going to handle it, and we're good. And eventually, we'll all be okay. But I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to push it. And it ain't nothing you need to talk to me about. Now, but let me say this about the kids part too. Even though you don't need to have interactions or conversations, once the kids are being dropped off, doesn't she need to meet you or feel like you okay to be around her kids?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think there needs to be a meet and greet ahead of dropping them off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it could be a one-on-one. I wouldn't, let me see you before I, if I had children.
Go get some tea or something.
That's all three
to the point that y'all serious enough that my kids are around.
Yeah, for sure.
Just have a conversation. Don't mean we're going to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of layers to it, but I do think as far as respecting an ex, in my mind, again, not being in a real-time situation. So I want to make sure I say that because I know people have been in these situations and things happen or whatever. So I'm speaking from not being in a situation and who I hope I could be with an ex-wife or the mother of some children, that I could be respectful and respect the ex, that they will always be in each other's lives. And I would want to have as harmonious a relationship as possible. If that means as little of a relationship as possible, if that's the answer or not. Now, on the flip side of that, for Father's Day, I got a little annoyed at Cherie Zampino's, Will Smith's ex-wife, post on Instagram. We know they have a very blended family. Jada claims Trey, Sheree has been with Willow and Jaden and all that. We know that they are a blended mixed family. Sheree had been remarried to somebody else and now she's divorced, and I don't know her relationship status. But I got a little annoyed that when she posted a Happy Father's Day post to Will Smith, it said, my baby daddy is enjoying his dessert in Miami. And it was like a video of Will Smith doing something with the kids. And you see the kids, everybody's there. And I don't know why that bothered me, because it probably didn't bother Jada, She's somewhat with her own entanglement on the side, she don't care about that. But I don't know. I felt like the fact that they've been divorced for so long and he's been remarried for so long and the story has been told so many different times and ways, her referring to him as her baby daddy was a little off-putting to me. It was casual and familiar. So I didn't care for it. What do you think about it?
I went and looked at it. It's a little off-putting. It probably wasn't as off-putting for me. I don't know. I guess because we do know their story or know what we know of it, the part they've made public. And it seems to be a harmonious thing now. So it was probably unnecessary. I would say it would be unnecessary in my own opinion of judging the post, but it didn't rub me too harsh.
Yeah, and
but you know what? You don't like the term baby daddy, and it just dawned on me when you were telling that story. You don't like when people use that term, period, because somebody else has used that term before, referring to their husband, and it bothered you.
Well, you know what? I said it's casual and too familiar. It's two different things. You know what? It's a lot of terminology that would turn me off. I know somebody who is married to her husband, and she will post pictures when they go out about being his girlfriend tonight.
That's what side piece. That's what it was, or side chick.
Yeah, I'm the side chick.
Maybe that's what it is.
That.
When people play with words like that, you don't really, and when it's not true, or
because what is that saying? It's almost trying to create the side chick over the wife. You're
trying to create this narrative that
that somebody is aspiring to be a side chick. Oh, I'm his side chick this weekend. We going out. We traveling. It's like, ma'am, you his wife. Why would you do that? I don't like that. Even just now when you mentioned it, I never consciously thought about it, but I will call somebody the mother of your children before I call him your baby mama. He is the father of my children. Hey, she is the mother of my children. But I don't know. I'm not going to my baby daddy. Like I said, that's casual. That's too casual and it's too familiar.
It is. Yeah.
So this is my ex.
Well, and I think in that case with Will Smith's ex-wife is that like you said, everybody knows that story. So are you trying to make a joke for the world? Or was it, like I said, if it was like
because we don't need that.
A private chat and that's how y'all talk, that's one thing. But what was the point in putting it out on Instagram like that?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
We know the story, or we think we do. I mean,
well, we know that, but that is her ex-husband from 20 plus years ago, and we know they had a child together. That child is a full-blown adult. So you referring to him today as your baby daddy is like,
and perhaps they've gotten to a point where they are more familiar than ever before now. You know,
but I don't like terminology.
With age, I know.
It could be a brand new kid, or we just broke up, whatever. We're co-parents. This is my best friend. We're co-parents, but well, he just my baby daddy. We ain't together. No, that is the father of your child, ma'am. That is not a casual relationship or intimation. I don't like when people talk about it casually, because this is the biggest, most important thing two people can do in the whole entire world of life is go half on a baby.
And they
you ain't gonna call me no baby mama. I am the mother of your child. Yeah. Is what I am.
Okay.
Or your children.
Yeah.
You are the father of my, now you probably still trash and I don't want you, but it ain't gonna be no, oh girl, that's just my baby daddy. Who that is? That's just my baby daddy. No, we ain't care. That is the father of my children.
That's just my baby daddy.
So when she said this my baby daddy, it's like, first of all, we too old. Second of all, you too grown and got money. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it was like almost like you trying to talk down to us, or you trying to like lower your stat. I don't know. Don't do that. And that is somebody else's husband and some other folks' daddies. And we know that you ain't even have to give his name. We saw who that was in that video. He enjoying his dessert. Seeing, post, share.
You were mad.
I was like, but again, like I said, Jada probably don't care. I didn't like it. So I'm into respecting the ex, but the ex don't be disrespectful.
You thought that was, would you call that disrespectful?
Jada don't care. It was disrespectful to me as his wife. Jada don't care. Jada just posted that porn from Tupac, and everybody's like, Lord, Jada's still posting Tupac porn. So I'm saying Jada
that's just their relationship. You know, they all just
Jada don't care like that. I said, as his wife, I don't need his ex-wife from 20 plus years ago referring to him as her baby daddy.
I agree. I would not like it at all.
That's all I'm saying. Now I said Jada don't care probably at all.
Mm-hmm. She did 2 posts with baby daddy.
Did she?
It wasn't just the video, it was a picture too.
I don't like that. I don't need that. Because this is my husband and my children's father. He's your child's father too. I love your child. I love you. We a family. Don't do that. Don't do that. You could just say he, Will, Trey's father. You can even call him your ex-husband. But let me use this ex-husband. Let me take baby dad out of it. If she said my ex-husband is enjoying dessert, I don't need that either. He been your ex for 20 plus years. That is not who he is. Because you guess what? You got another ex-husband that's more current. That's a more active ex-husband than mine, who's been my husband for 20 plus years. You see what I'm saying? So it's just respect your words. I'm gonna respect you, but we're gonna have to respect the terminology we use. And so if I was dating a man and his ex-wife, whatever, and we all at a cookout, we a blended family, and she crossed the room trying to be cute and like, baby daddy, bring me something to eat.
First of all, don't be asking my husband to bring you nothing.
Right, but you know, sometimes people be trying to be cute. Oh, watch, I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna see what he say when people be trying to be cute. That's gonna not go well for me. I mean, or for you, or for him. It's somebody's gonna have a bad night. And I'm gonna see too. So
I'm gonna make sure everybody have a bad night.
I'm gonna have a bad night. He gonna have a bad night, or you gonna have a bad night. But like I said, people be real casual with it, and that's just not my thing. I think it's the most important thing in the world you can do is have a baby, and whoever you had that baby with, y'all did the most important thing together. So don't be so casual. But once y'all break up and he in a new relationship, don't be so familiar. 2 things can be true and wrong and bad. So anyway, respect the ex or not. Respect the ex and respect the current. Just know your role. Know your place.
It's respect, period.
It's about respect.
We are adults.
We are grown. And you got to think about you being in that situation and how you want people to handle and manage you and act accordingly. Now, somebody's still going to get cussed out from time to time. Let those be the exception to the rules. Don't just come in because this your man now that his ex is crazy. Stop believing that, because she probably ain't. And if she is, that is on him to handle. And you should not have to tell him to handle it. And number 3, when he don't handle it, now you single again. Come on back over here with us. Let us know what you think. Have y'all had a real life situation where you had to respect the ex or you didn't respect the ex or vice versa? Let me know. I'm curious. I figure we're going to eventually end up in a situation we really going to have to eat our words or figure out how to take our own advice, because more than likely, whoever we end up with at this point moving forward, more than likely we'll have a family, a prefab family.
And it's so easy, like you said, to speak when we're not in those experiences. So we realize we're saying things that we haven't had to necessarily apply in our adult life, lives where somebody claiming us and then somebody else claiming them, we don't have no problem.
We can look back then and say, oh, we didn't play that right. We were supposed to show our entire ass back then. But now we can say, oh, I think he was playing me. Mm-hmm. But now that we do have more boundaries that we set and we respect for ourselves, I don't need to talk to your ex unless we go into a place where I'm about to be around her children. Mm-hmm. Other than that,
that's it.
Yeah,
because I've even dated people when I've dated them, and then they have the kids that weekend. I'm ghost. I'm gone.
That's just
first of all, that is your time with your kids. Right. Like, I don't need to be around you like that. So, until you get to that point.
Level. That's a whole nother level.
It is.
Because if you got my kids this weekend and you got a babysitter, but let's just stay focused.
Yeah, I know. Right.
You could have left them at the house. You could have left them with me this weekend then. Respect the ex. But like I said, I'm not in this situation. Hopefully everybody can find love where they can find it. And hopefully you can do it in a less stressful way. Don't just take that a man's ex is crazy because he told you, because he gonna be telling that same story about you. Mm-hmm. Or somebody else is telling that story about you and you know that you were the calm, level-headed, wonderful Christian woman you are. Mm-hmm. And that one time you super glued them pennies on that card, that is not a reflection of who you are. I know. I'm with you. Comment, let us know, share, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Until next time. Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.